Hey everybody, my name is Kyle Machado and I'm on the Bernie 2020 organizing team. Welcome to the Bernie Dialer Quick Start training. Today's training will cover very briefly the operation of the Bernie Dialer and some tips and tricks on how to successfully use the tool. So let's dive right in. First off, why the Bernie Dialer? Getting Bernie to the White House and taking on the billionaire class is going to take a monumental effort, but we know that when we organize, we win. In 2016, we made 84 million calls, and that's due to our incredible callers and, of course, this amazing technology called the Bernie Dialer. And that's exactly why we're using the Bernie Dialer in 2020. The dialer helps us speak to 10 times more people per hour compared to older calling systems. This tool helps us maximize our people power. Our mission is to identify new and previous supporters and turn them out to vote. And we're going to need to make millions of calls across the country to do that. So that's why we're using the Bernie Dialer. What do you need to make calls? This is relatively simple. To make calls on the Bernie Dialer, you're going to need a laptop or desktop computer, a cell phone, and headphones. Those are recommended but not required. Some tips for making calls. First off, smile while you dial. It really does matter. As funny as it sounds, people really can hear your smile through the phone line, so be sure to smile while you dial. Follow the script. This is super important. Even if you get comfortable with the script while making calls, please avoid this at all costs. Follow the script as well as you can. We have designed each script using specific language that motivates voters in particular ways. Please stick to the script. And also, make sure and track all responses in the script. If you don't click buttons in the script that correspond with the caller responses to the script prompts, we won't have any record of that question being answered. That literally means that your call doesn't get recorded and the conversation that we just have with that voter needs to be had again. So please make sure and click each button in the script and follow it through to the very end. Some frequently asked questions. Should I wait for them to say hello before I speak? The answer to that is no. There will be a split-second delay in the system between the person picking up the phone and getting connected to you. Listen for the beep and start speaking as soon as you hear it. You should assume the voter has already said hello and start speaking as soon as you hear that beep. Do not wait for the voter to say something before speaking. Why do I need to wait so long between calls? Sometimes there can be a delay between calls. This is normal. It's because the dialer is making calls for you. If you are experiencing wait times longer than 4 minutes, please alert live chat or post in the call team Slack. Why does the number of calls made number sometimes reset? This is simply a glitch in the system. Don't worry, your calls are being recorded and they are going through. What if the voter asks something that I don't have an answer to? That's okay. Humility is the answer here. Don't make things up. Phony answers makes us all look bad. When a caller has a question that you don't have an answer to, simply ask them to email info@berniesanders.com. We'll be sure to get back to them as soon as possible. What is Slack and should I join? Of course, Slack is an easy-to-use instant messaging program that we use to stay in touch with our volunteer teams all across the country. Once you're in the call team channel, let us know when you're having trouble and someone will get back to you quickly. What do you do if someone is rude or wants to argue with you? If people are rude or are arguing with you, please just give them a gentle "thanks for speaking today" and move on to the next call. Please do not respond to them in kind. These kinds of conversations are not worth your energy. What do I do when I reach an answering machine? Do I leave a message? The answer to that is simple. Don't leave a message. Just click next call, no contact button on the left side of your screen. The system will end your current call and put you back into the call list and move you on to the next call. Will the voter or voters see my phone number on their caller ID? Answer to that is absolutely not. Your calls will route through a different phone number and your number will not display on people's caller ID. Lastly, should I try to persuade undecided folks to support Bernie? These calls are mostly about doing voter IDs rather than persuasion. This phase of identification helps us know who to follow up with later and who we don't need to contact anymore. That said, if a natural opportunity arises, feel free to share aspects of your own personal story for feeling inspired to volunteer for Bernie. Here are some frequently asked technical questions. If you see the words login failed, invalid password in red on the login screen, slow down. If you click the next button multiple times, your account will be locked. If you see the words agent not found in the login screen, it's entirely possible that you copied the agent name incorrectly. So if you see either of these, login failed, invalid password, or agent not found, it's very, very, very likely that you copied a little bit of extra space in either the password or the username. So make sure that you have correctly copied the password. Try pasting the text somewhere where you can see that you copied the password or username correctly, and be sure there are no extra spaces at the beginning or the end of the password or username. Another thing is that if you have made calls before, it's possible that you would see this error message if you were trying to use a username or password from a previous day's calling. So every day that we log into the Bernie dialer, it's really important that you use a new username or password. If nothing appears on your screen after logging in, this is a separate issue. It's very likely that you have a pop-up blocker. If you run into any of these issues, try these as solutions. If you can't find a solution, it's very simple to just speak to our live chat team and they will work through any of these issues with you. So let me show you what a failed login looks like. You can see here I've copied a little bit too much in the username. You can see that space there. I'm going to copy the password, hit next, and you can see that red message there. So just wanted to show you what that looks like. That is what a failed login looks like with an extra copy. And here's exactly how you'll find the chat desk support team. So you go to the Bernie Dialer landing page. And you'll see here, there will be a pop-up box where you'll enter your name, email, and your question. Once you've done that, a chat volunteer will respond to you and get started with the support conversation. So that's, if you ever need any support, feel free to contact live chat. So a little bit about using the Bernie dialer. First, I wanted to talk about a successful login. So the first thing you're going to do is enter your name, email, and phone number. You're then going to copy, without any spaces, the login ID, as well as the password. You're then going to actually log into the system and select the correct service. Next, you'll dial into the calling system. First, you'll enter the phone number and then a password. You'll arrive at this screen and automatically be logged in. Let's see that again one more time. First, you have the phone number and then the PIN number. Please be sure to enter the PIN number a little bit slowly. And another important note is that once you have dialed in, you do not hang up at all. You stay on the phone through all of your calls. Another important note is as soon as you hear the beep, again, very important reminder, as soon as you hear the beep, the call is connected, start speaking. So let's now show you what an actual call looks like. Hi, this is Kyle. I'm a volunteer with the Bernie Sanders campaign. Is Voter available?
Yeah, this is Voter speaking.
Hi, Voter. I'm calling today because we have you down as a supporter of Senator Sanders. Are you planning on supporting Bernie for president in 2020?
Yeah, Bernie all the way.
Awesome. Thanks for your support. In order to grow our grassroots movement into a campaign that can win on March 3rd, we need your help. Can I sign you up either to phone bank, community canvas, or other volunteer activities with the campaign?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. The campaign will be in touch in the coming weeks to get you plugged in. Thanks so much for being a part of the movement.
Thanks for what you're doing.
All right, and let's cover some just important notes now that we've run through what an actual call looks like. So first off, you're going to want to make sure, and once you're on the phone with somebody, that in the left-hand side of the screen, you've had a successful call. You'll notice that there are two boxes. Let's look at that again. So you have a successful call. On the left-hand side, you're ready to end your call. You'll notice that it says recent and term codes. Under recent, there's only two options. Under term codes, you'll see all three options for ending a call. It's very important that when you end your call, you select the correct option, and you'll only find all three of the options under term codes. So be sure to pay close attention to that. Additionally, I want to show you the Bernie Dialer How to End Your Call Results guide. This is very simple here. This just simply covers briefly how to record Canvas results in the Bernie Dialer. Sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, but want to make sure that you understand this. This is a guide that's available on the Bernie Dialer landing page. And here it covers some examples of how exactly to classify various calls that you might run into. So in this case, let's say that you spoke to somebody who answered the phone and they said, Bernard is not home right now. In this case, you would select not home / busy, and next call, no contact. No contact meaning you did not speak to the person that you were looking for. In this case, it was Bernard. Bernard was not home and was not available to speak to, so you would select no contact. If you did speak to Bernard, but Bernard was not available to speak right now, you would also select not home / busy, but you would select talk to correct person. Great, so make sure and take a little bit of time to review that guide. Also, in order to log out when you're making calls, or if you just want to take a break, when you end a call, you're going to select the Not Ready button, and then you're going to push Save. You will then be able to log out or take a break. Now let's show you a little bit about logging out here. Again, it's the same exact way. You're going to select the Not Ready button after you've entered your call results. You will then be in the Not Ready mode, and you can just simply X out of the Bernie Dialer at the top left of your screen. So let's look at that one more time. You'll click Not Ready, Save, and just exit out at the top left of the screen. All right, and that is all today. Thank you so much for taking this training with us. We really appreciate your time. It's been wonderful. These calls are some of the most important ways that you can help Bernie get to the White House. So please make calls, make as many calls as you can, get your friends to make calls, host phone bank parties. The Bernie Dialer is key to our victory in 2020. So that being said, thanks again. Really appreciate everything that you're doing to get Bernie to the White House, and I'll see you in the Slack.